all of us, we always get together. People are more inclined to look at people and judge people based off what they wear, how they talk, where they're from, all of those things. Vincent, do you feel that you've been judged?
Girl.
That's my way of having a voice, is to present options to people.
When have you used your voice? Probably all the time, Gemini.
Gemini!
How do you feel you were different?
You know what? I'm not going to work for anyone else but myself.
Everyone's judging. What does that mean to you?
I'm going to do the things that I've been wanting to do.
Welcome back to the Real Connect podcast. I'm Tamika Carlton, and I am here with the infamous crew, the Hubs, Logan Bailey Perkins, Vincent Tobias Bell.
Hey.
I feel like everyone loves this crew because we tell the truth.
Right.
And one of the main things for all of us, we always get together and we have like these long conversations, whether it's at the house, whether it's at the bar.
Right.
Over the child.
Right. Sponsor me, please. No. But truly, we have conversations that are deep because I think we're all deep. Mm-hmm. We all like to not necessarily have shallow conversations. And just recently, we had one. And I thought, podcast me, please. Okay. What this topic is all about is the idea of judging people and judging people based off of their appearance. And I think far too often, people are more inclined to look at people and judge people based off of what they wear, how they talk, where they're from, all of those things. So I want to get your insight on that. But my first question is, before we get into the deepness, is, well, and maybe we'll get into the deepness quite quick. Logan, I'm going to start with you. Do you feel like you have ever been judged in any scenario, whether it's a networking event, job, friendship, anything?
Yeah. Quite frankly, that journey for me in sort of the judgy judge ether world, right, started for me many, many moons ago as a kid. I can remember growing up, mostly on the East Coast, New York City and Philadelphia. Many times, many environments as a kid just didn't look the way that they did, didn't talk the way that they talked. Obviously, I had some different dynamics that were partially responsible for that. Had different parents. Parents had a different idea for me, and they wanted me in different environments. So all of that manifested in me being a little bit different, and I still am today.
Well, how do you feel you were different?
I just was. I dressed different. My parents didn't necessarily emphasize me having like all the new, freshest, cool clothes, right? The new hat. Like I got Nintendo a little bit later than some of the other kids. I got a bike a little bit later than some of the other kids. So, when thinking about the foundation, like that started at an early age for me.
That's super early.
And, that progressed into being a teenager. I was a little bit of an awkward teenager. I was a little goofy. I was kind of a nerd and kind of like the judgy judge world of nerds is very harsh, especially, being a kid and becoming a young adult, really into my early 20s when I started to realize and make peace that I was different.
Sure.
But still to this day, some of the choices I've made for myself, I realized that people look at with a kind of a side eye, whether they say anything or not. I can feel the energy. I can read the tea leaves, as they say.
Like,
understand.
You're being judged.
You just know.
Okay. I feel that. Vincent, before we get into more about what you're talking about, because I feel like a lot of us have been judged from childhood, and maybe that is, we become a product of our judgment. But for you, do you feel that, Vincent, you've been judged?
For sure. I was going to go straight into my current, but definitely it starts from the foundation of being a kid and being a hetero, ooh.
He's trying to...
Being a homosexual,
right.
Acting differently and just showing up differently than the norm.
Quote unquote norm.
Exactly. And unapologetically, and like especially once I got into high school and once I got a job and started paying for my own things, it's just like, girl, I'm gonna do the things that I've been wanting to do. And once my parents accepted me coming out and things, and so I was definitely judged and moving into my current, of course, by like friends, partners,
Yeah.
and so yeah, of course.
I mean, I think I have several things to talk about this. This is going to be a long little conversation. Okay. But I think one of the things that I thought about when you were talking is one, it started in upbringing, like when you were a child. Two, me being with you, you always say, like, everybody judges. Because I'm like, stop being judgmental. That's like my thing. Stop being judgmental. And you always say, everybody's judgmental. Everyone's judging. What does that mean to you? Because what do you think is happening in all of our, like, interactions with people all of the time?
Just in the most simplistic way, I think people make a value judgment as to whether you fit into their world and their universe based on the way you answer questions, based on whether you go on trips. A great example, like when people go to travel, right? Whether it's somewhere in Europe or it's somewhere in the Caribbean, you and I have a different experience that we're looking forward to when we travel
Right.
than a lot of other people do because we're different. I think that a lot of that goes back to, as we talked about a couple of seconds ago, the way we were raised. So it's not a negative on anybody like wanting something different, but because of that, some of the journeys that our friends go on and other people that we know, we're not excited about it because they do it differently. And we know when we get there, we're going to be disappointed and then we'll be judged, you see? Like sometimes fear of being judged is almost a wall that closes you off from friends in a lot of ways.
Fear of being judged. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel that way. Look, we're not the people. We don't want to do everything that everybody else does.
No.
I'm looking for the exact opposite. I don't want to go to, Caribbean island and stay at a resort. Been there, done that. It's great. It's fun. I want something a little bit more. I want to be a little bit more ingrained in the culture.
Why is that?
Again, a lot of it has to do with the way that I was raised and what I think is right and what life is really should be about.
Right is tough.
It's subjective.
Right, yes.
Of course,
correct.
it's subjective, sure.
So I think what is right for you?
Soaking up culture, being much more immersed in that place that you go, eating all the different foods, not having comfort foods that you would normally eat, being uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is really what it is. And I feel like a lot of times when and the trip example is like the one that we're talking about now, when you go on a trip, if you try to get uncomfortable and make people uncomfortable, they get uncomfortable.
Yes, and I think the other point is that people are always looking at you and assessing you. You said value judgment, and it's like, how do people assess whether you're valuable or not? In your life, hello, okay. And I appreciate the travel example because we can go on, because I feel like when we travel, we're very adamant about traveling and getting into the nitty gritty of the environment that we're in versus being in a tourist area, right? Because I feel like you don't get the full experience of the place that you're in if you're in,
versus
if you're
a native.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I really want to explore the culture. I really want to eat at the local restaurants. I really want to see the people experience their day-to-day life versus us being on a resort, which is very much like you could go anywhere and have the same resort experience versus a different language that you
And
may
we don't
hear.
even want to go all the places that other people go to. It's as fundamental as that.
No, and we don't because we want to explore beyond our comfort zone.
Right.
Okay. When you think about people judging or being more apt to look at you or hear you or whatever it may be, especially in your industry, you're in like fashion, stylists, like makeup, hair, that's all about appearances. How do you like, that's a big deal. How do you like, because you're very humble, like you're very like, you care about appearances, but do you really? Like, how do you balance it?
I care about it, but it's also like it's subjective.
Right.
It's however you want to express yourself. It's I feel like beauty is beauty. Like it's it's however you were brought up, however you want to feel at the moment, however you want to express yourself in the moment. And so I try not to, or I've trained myself not to judge,
Sure.
even when someone is saying something or showing up in a way that's like not my style.
Right.
It's just their thing. And so
That's
I
who
just
they are, right?
let them be who
Like,
they want to be.
I'm with
show up
you.
as.
How do you feel being in this industry, walking into rooms that you may not look like others? Because I feel like everyone does that. Everyone that goes into a room and you are not a part of the majority, or at least I don't hang out with people that's a part of the majority. I'm
Right.
just saying. Okay.
I think we got that.
Right? Like, I feel like we're uncommon.
Yes.
And
we
we-
were just talking about we're hippies.
Yes. Truly, we are hippies.
We are hippies, yeah. It was definitely a muscle that I've had to work. Like in the beginning, it was gotta show up,
Yes.
look how they want me to look.
Yes.
And then one of my friends, Sarai, she was like, "You're still a creative," and that just clicked. It was like, you still have a voice. Like you still
Yes.
have your own thing. You still have your
Yes.
own. And I never, like that was like the thing, like stepping into like a big boy job as far as like being my own boss and like not working in someone else's salon. Like that was the message that gave me like, okay, I can
Well,
still.
your voice
show
is
up.
what's carried you.
Yes.
It's like your signature hippiness
Right.
and humbleness is what's carried you.
Yeah. And I try to gift that to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. How do you gift that to everyone else when you work with a diverse array of people that have different styles that may not match yours? How do you merge that or like ensure that you match their look, their style? How difficult is that?
It's not difficult because everyone has their expression. Everyone, I try to get everyone's background. Well, not like necessarily always asking questions, but just reading them and listening to what they say and
Listening to what they say.
accepting and creating that safe
accepting.
space for
Creating
them
a safe
to
space.
show up however they want, you know?
And one of the ways that I think you create that safe space is like when I first started working with Vincent, he was very quiet and he ain't quiet. Okay.
Definitely not.
Right, he
I can
definitely
attest.
ain't quiet,
I am a
okay?
witness. I'm a witness.
Definitely ain't quiet. But you allow people to speak so that you can learn them
Yes.
first.
Yes.
And then you can integrate how
I'm gonna
move
through.
and maneuver through. I fools with that. That's that Gemini. Okay.
I just thought about something that's really interesting, if I may.
Please.
You know, operating in the judgy judge world, that's my own term that I've coined. I use a lot in my head. It's really hard. Like,
Yeah, it is.
I can think about growing up, and I know I've talked about this a little bit, but the foundation is really important. You know, I was exposed to a lot of different music. So jazz, rock and roll, the Stones, Jefferson Airplane. Shout out to Jefferson Airplane, anybody if they know who they are.
No idea who that is, but yes.
Just all kinds of music. Of course, reggae, like everything. You know, but going around my peers as a kid talking about that, they look at me like I'm crazy. And like, there's been a lot of damage and a lot of unpacking for that, just to kind of think about that kind of psychological impact where when you're not fitting in because you're different, you've been exposed to different cultures and different things, and thinking about what that means, or am I weird, and what's going on with me? And
How has that morphed into your real life? Like, were you more inclined to kind of quiet yourself in situations?
for a period of time, but at the end of the day, I think over time, it's made me double down on it and get comfortable with it.
Okay.
Because of that.
Right? Because
double down.
Listen,
Double
we're here
down.
for a double down. You brought up something about voice. I want to ask you, Logan, how have you used your voice even when you knew that you were going to be judged?
Look, a lot of times how I think about the task, you're going to take some risk. Great example, trips with friends. Everybody's blasting all the newest hip hop, right? Just got back from another trip with my boys. Shout out to all my boys. You know, introducing something a little bit different that maybe they wouldn't have thought of, maybe they don't know about. It could be music, it could be food, it could be what we do on the trip.
Well, give
it
me
could,
an
It could
example
be the
of, like-
restaurant where we eat at.
Give me an example of what you've done and how that was received.
There have been times when we're on a trip together with friends where everybody just wanted to go to kind of a run-of-the-mill food experience. And you know what? I kind of threw it out there. Let's elevate and do something that's a little bit more organic and authentic to the place. Sometimes that's received and sometimes it's not. I think the point and the comfort for me is me introducing that. That's really all I can do. And that's my way of having a voice, is to present options to people.
Why is that important to you to do that? Because I think the point here for this conversation for me is to expose people to a new idea, right? And to recognize that when we are judging, we're missing out on opportunities, right? And when we judge, we're causing a silence of people that are around us. And when there's silence, you're not growing. So why is it important for you to share?
I think the point is, the next time that somebody's in my shoes and introduces something different, if Logan showed you something that was really different that you thought was going to be garbage and not great, you'll be more willing to listen the next time.
Sure.
So it's really kind of setting the stage to be open to more experiences and not judging
Just
the messenger
outside of,
who's interested in doing something different that's not the normal cliche sort of stuff.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's important for us to, I think it's easier for us to listen to people that we know, right?
For sure.
So if we're more inclined to listen to people that we know and we accept what they share that may not be something that we are necessarily open to, we are going to then in turn potentially listen to a stranger that could potentially open us up to something that could create a whirlwind of opportunities. I'm a strong believer in people that I would have never thought could have exposed me to something different has. And when they do, those are the things that have created an opening for me to be creative. Those are the things that have created an opening for me to meet someone that I would have never met before, that has become an opportunity, all of it. Okay, Vincent, tell me, when have you used your voice? Probably all the time, Gemini.
Gemini!
When have you used your voice where you knew that you would be judged and you did it anyways? I love a good thinking moment, okay?
Love a thinker.
Okay.
Always think.
I think
I mean, I feel like you do it in relationships, you do it in...
I do it in relationships, I do it in family, and I don't even think it of as being judged anymore because I've sort of gotten over that hump. So I can't even remember when I've done the next thing.
Well, what does that mean? You don't think of it as being judged
Because
anymore?
I'm always like,
Telling your truth? You're just like...
yeah, telling my truth, showing up in my truth, saying, let's go here, let's go there, let's try this, let's try that. And whether you like it or not, it's still going to be my thing. And
you're like, and we can do it or not.
Yeah, I feel like it's still my gift, and whether you want to accept it or not. And vice versa. Like, I'm open to trying your gift to me of
Ooh, that's a
evolution.
Good one. You're a gift to me.
Yeah, I feel like evolution is a gift to each other.
It is.
For sure.
Evolution is a gift to each other. And you get to evolution when you're willing to not be judgmental. But like we are all...
It's a catch-22.
Yes, because we are all judgmental.
Yeah.
And we judge people based on everything.
Every little
like,
thing, yeah.
Okay, so if you are a person, what would you say to someone that is potentially knowingly going to be judged? How would you suggest that they handle it?
You know, I can draw off of a real life example. And I'm not sure if this is PC or not to say it.
Uh-oh.
My response is screw him. F him.
Seriously.
Right, yeah.
One of my best friends
Truly.
in his early 30s, he's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Okie. Quit a cushy job in his early 30s, kind of unsettled, like as we all were in our early 30s, still trying to figure life out. He said, you know what? I'm not going to work for anyone else but myself. Put in his like 2 weeks notice. Wasn't even 2 weeks. He left today. He packed up his stuff and he was done.
Wow.
Started his own law firm.
Wow.
But some people that I know felt some kind of way about that.
Well, that's a
But the point of the really important takeaway is he said fuck him.
he said fuck him, and also that leads to a question: do you think that people, when judgment happens, is it more about the person being judged, or is it about the person that's doing the judging? Okay, face.
Definitely the person that's judging.
I agree.
I would say 80%.
Yeah,
I agree.
because they 9 times out of 10 it's because they haven't experienced what you're about to experience or what you have experienced.
Right.
They are struggling with a new thing
And they are operating
in fear,
in fear, and however that comes out,
and they want to project it onto you. And I think that's the important thing is it's judgment is not about you. And listen, I will say this, and I think I've mentioned this when we were having this conversation. You know, I'm originally from Seattle, as you may or may not know. I've lived in Chicago, I've lived in Houston, I've lived in Atlanta, I've lived in Virginia. I mean, I've traveled a substantial number of places. I'm so grateful for having grown up in Seattle because I was around a diverse array of individuals of all age groups that had money. I mean, I'm talking about real money, like real money.
Tech money.
Yes, tech money.
Microsoft money.
Right, and on it goes because Seattle has fueled so many tech companies. But you would never know. Yeah. If you looked at them, you would never know how educated they were, how much money they had based on what they wear, how much money they had based on what they drove. But if you had the opportunity to go to their home, you would be like, oh, shit. So I think that we are discounting ourselves so often when we think that we can judge or look at someone and immediately assess who they are, what they have to offer, what we can learn from them, what, relationships they can provide for us. And I remember having when we had the conversation, you were like, everyone can provide something.
Yes.
And I think that's important.
Facts.
Like, what does that show up for you as? Like, when you say everyone can provide something, what does that mean to you?
I feel like we are all strong in something.
Yes.
We are all, there's no, you're the janitor and I'm the CEO and you're, like, what are you strong at?
Right.
And what am I weak at?
Right.
And, like, how does that come
And
together?
let's have a
and
conversation.
not be judged to take that lesson from somebody who
you
quote
feel is
unquote
less than-
may be lower on the totem pole.
Exactly.
If you believe in that.
And
right?
what is the totem pole? And why is it lower?
Right.
And also, it's like,
That's
why
part of
is
the
it
issue.
because you think that I have to wear a certain name brand or drive a certain car, then I'm worth more of your conversation or your time?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you were in DC, so I don't know. DC has its own whirlwind of. I don't know.
DC's
DC.
its own universe.
Y'all
Love
comment,
DC,
okay?
but DC is just different.
It is different. I mean, it's different, but there's always this idea of like LA is pretentious, DC is somewhat pretentious
In a
too,
different way.
especially in
Very
the Black
different than
community,
LA.
right? So, but it's like there's this idea of that. But you love DC.
I do, but it has its own sort of judgmental issues as well, but very different than Los Angeles. A lot of it centers in DC is professional and career-based, right? One of the first questions if you go out to a happy hour in DC, especially if you're in a dating scene, what do you do for a living? Barely even ask your name. That's like 1A is what's your name, 1B is what do you do for a living?
feel like that's here
Move on
too. Atlanta,
to the
no,
next
right?
person. I can't speak to Atlanta because I haven't been single here.
Right.
I've been married, so
Right.
that's my quick thoughts about DC.
I mean, how has it been dating on the scene in Atlanta? Do people care about stuff like that here, you think?
It's like 1 in a million.
1 in a million.
Maybe 1 in 100,000.
That don't care. That don't care.
It's very transactional. It's very fast paced.
Which is so interesting.
Like even
to
around
me.
the world, just because of technology.
Yeah,
just moved,
that's true.
But
That's true.
you find maybe like that one that's just like that really wants to know, and it's like, Okay. Can I trust this, or is it
Oh my gosh, that's
for the moment? Yeah.
right.
There's definitely a certain kind of look down here in Atlanta that I feel like.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like the three of us generally don't look like that, right?
I agree.
For different ways and
do we
different
not fit in
reasons,
here?
and like we the in crowd is not going to be our place that we'll ever call home.
Exactly.
We'll have our
No,
own home, and
that's
we
very
already
true.
do.
Right.
And our community will be different than that baseline.
Yeah.
What the reasons are, that we could talk about that another time. That's a long conversation. But definitely, I feel like there's a culture. I don't know if you want to think about it as a hippie culture, but a counterculture. There is like a group of us who know that, like the status quo here isn't necessarily our cup of tea.
Yeah.
And we need to continue to connect with those type of people, which is, I'm pretty sure, why Tamika selected this as a topic.
Right. I also feel like it's hard. It's not hard, but I feel like the people like us are not out and about like that.
That's right.
Because we don't really want, like,
We don't flaunt wealth. We don't show everybody like
and
whatever
we're not
things
just
we
like
have or what we
kicking
don't.
it everywhere.
We're out, but we're not at those places.
Yes,
That's right.
correct.
Correct.
And
That's right.
and I think if we're at those places, we're immediately looked at like, why are you here?
Exactly. Yeah.
But the truth is that if we're in the places we're meant to be in the room,
Right.
and if we're in the room, we can
Someone
provide
is-
value, and you're missing out on the opportunity, whether it's relationships, access, talent, skill, whatever it is, like we can provide that. And I'm not like trying to pitch myself to be anything. The point is that I just don't want people to miss out on their opportunity to connect with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick follow up on that. The more I think about it, I think there's so many things that we do together, even the three of us, especially Tamika and I together, that I feel like, and you harped on this a little bit earlier, asking some people in our network to come, I feel like they look at us like we're stupid.
To come where?
Some kind of like Asian festival in a random like
I like different stuff.
Yeah.
Like you went on a picnic at Piedmont Park the other day
By myself.
by yourself, and I was like,
right.
that is giving me life. Like I'm like me and Logan used to do that in Montrose Beach in Chicago. Just take food, wine, whatever.
Blanket,
Yes.
And to that point, Chicago is very different than DC and Atlanta in that sense. There's much more of a community that supports kind of against the grain sort of things like that.
Kind of.
I think so. I think
also
so.
feel like maybe it's just me, but I feel like maybe we've been exposed to it here
Yeah.
on a higher level. And I'm just not that interested.
So great example, just to close out the point, another one, because you asked me to think of an example. So when we were in Portugal, our last night in Lisbon, we went to the silent theater spot that we went to with one of our friends. You remember?
Oh yeah, that was wonderful. That was
very
really cool.
few of people in our network would be.
And to give you an understanding of what it was like this restaurant experience where you were in like this old school castle, and you were seated to a great like dining experience where you can order whatever you want, steak, roasted chicken, all of the things. And there was like this production happening at the same time where these quote unquote actors or artists,
A 3-team crew.
it's like an abstract art experience where they're like in the same uniform the whole time. They don't speak, but they're moving.
They use props.
Yeah, in this like silent way. And they like engage with the audience, but in silence. And they engage with you where like they touch close to you, but they don't like touch
Make
you.
contact.
Yeah. Like they're super close to your table. And if you're on the edge of your table, they'll touch you. And then they'll like move gently. And then they'll move gently. And they'll move gently. And it was like this whole it was like a dynamic experience, but a lot of people wouldn't like that. I loved it.
Same.
I was like, this is cool. This is crazy. This is different. But a lot of people don't want to be exposed to different things because they're like, what is this?
Right.
You know,
And at the same time, they'll judge us for like being
For
interested,
liking it.
or maybe even suggesting it. Like they're going to check it out. They're going to say that's not for me. And they're going to talk about us to their other friends.
And I really
These
don't
guys
give a
wanted to
shit.
do blah blah.
At all.
I really don't give a shit.
But I wonder why.
Why are they
And maybe we need to
Maybe,
Get like a psychologist.
right? Maybe we need to get into a
A
psychologist
deeper dive.
first.
Where is that?
What is the problem? Because they're
Lack of exposure, lack of experience,
and
in some regards.
discomfort
With
and
themselves.
I think a lot of people are looking for an Instagrammable moment that like everyone else is gonna be like, oh my God.
Or that everybody else has. Everyone takes the same Instagrammable moments every single place that they go. There's only so many Instagram photos of the Eiffel Tower you could post.
Correct. The point is that like what we experience will be more popular 10 years from now. And everyone's going to be posting it. But like if we post it, they were like,
Been there, done it.
yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Do you think that being judged or even being judged by others has like shifted how you move?
For sure.
In what way?
Like you said, I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it takes a lot to get to that place,
It
though.
does.
Truly.
And you just get so tired of trying to show up for someone else. And
Yes.
it just feels so out of yourself that it's just like, girl, I just want to breathe. Every day in all in all the ways that I move. And so it's like, and when you know and have spoken to people that are like, there are people out there that want you as just as you. And want to be connected to you because it's you.
Yeah, and I think the other point is that like there comes a point where no matter what you do, there is going to be a problem. No matter what you do, what you say, how you move, what you wear, how you wear your hair, people are not going to be pleased with anything. So it's like it's almost to the point where if someone judges you and you feel it, hit the road, Jack. I mean, really.
Don't come back no more.
No, I'm serious. Like, do you have any other advice?
Right.
Real talk, because you can try to mold yourself to fit someone else's mold, but they don't even know why they want you to be molded to be that. So it's gonna be tough. Look, Vincent shrugged his shoulders like, girl, okay.
But think about how many times we've had to second guess ourselves along the way until we got to the point that Vincent just alluded to.
Yeah. Like
And what that meant for us and our mental
I mean, it's
mental
a lot.
health. Just
It's
think
a lot.
about that.
But I
It's a
also
lot.
think we're all going through it.
Right.
All of us have gone through it.
Yeah.
And all of us, and also we're hindering ourselves to get to where we're supposed to go
Because
we're worried about
sitting
what
in you.
other people are going to think about us. And in the grand scheme of things, what they think doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Yeah. It does not.
Because what we're meant to do will attract the appropriate people at the
Always.
right time. Because
How many people on this earth?
correct. Last time I checked, you're very much loved in your industry and you keep getting jobs and you will continue to.
Facts.
And you got fans, okay? Hello. Last time I checked, Logan, okay? But no, seriously, like people love to listen to you, whether they want to listen to you the first time or not. I think that's another thing people want. People are constantly watching what we're doing or watching who you are. And
Sure.
that is because they want what you have. And
Or want to be connected to it.
connected to it. And they need motivation, encouragement, all of the things. All right.
Why not just accept
And appreciate.
before judging?
I would say accept and appreciate. That leads me to my last question before speed round.
Ooh.
How would you say we can train ourselves to see beyond the first impressions? Because listen, we all say you go into an event. You'll look around, you scan the folks, and you're like, oh, they cute. They look like they know what they're talking about. I want to talk to. How can we think about looking beyond that? Or have you done that?
Sure. As something that we always talk about. Almost everything in life, I play the long game. I don't judge people off of short interactions, right?
This is very true, young.
It's really important to give people time to show themselves. And look, you give people enough rope, sometimes they hang themselves. You give people enough rope, sometimes they cut it down.
Yeah.
And they're good. And that's the way it works. Yeah. So in that situation, maybe like a mixer, a conference or something like that, maybe the first couple minutes, they say something you don't like. Look beyond that and be a little bit more open and give them a little bit more opportunity, right? And I expect the same thing in return. If maybe my first interaction with someone leaves them maybe wanting a little bit more. Yeah. So, because you never know, like that thing, that entity, that being, that may grow and blossom into a flower to be something that's very special. A big cactus, whatever you want to think about
cactus,
it as.
Right. Yeah. What about you? What do you say to people that try not, or what's your advice for people to not lead with first impressions?
Say, look at the shell as just an expression of their current,
Ooh, that's smart. Okay.
and not and dive deeper
Yeah.
into who they are as like a soul, as like a person, as a human.
Yeah.
being.
I'm with you.
Like
Facts.
just
Facts.
ask questions, dive deeper, and
Dive deep.
I love that long game because I'm definitely like, you could show up one way and it's just like, okay, I don't know about this.
Right.
Somebody can have a bad day.
Exactly, or be in like going through a breakup, or
Who
Yeah,
knows what
anything.
they're Maybe their parents, one of their parents just died, or who knows? You have no idea. So everybody should get the benefit of the doubt.
yeah,
But over a long period of time, if you feel like it's not really
It's not
working, do what you need to do. That's right for
yeah,
you.
I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, long game, dive deeper, don't judge the shell.
Don't judge the shell.
It's just
Love
an
that.
expression.
Love that.
The shell, I love that the shell is an expression of who people are. And yeah, the long game, you've definitely taught me that. Like, don't recognize that the higher percentage of a person is who they really are. Like, if they're good,
Correct.
80% of the time, then it's likely that
Well, I
they're
have a
a
little
good
bit
person.
higher standard than 80%. I
Well,
need,
you know what
I
I
need
mean.
93.4.
You ain't lying, okay? Especially these days. But I'm just saying, like, if they're mean 60% of the time, they're likely mean.
Right.
I will also say for me, I lead with energy. So, like, if I feel strange around you, if I walk up to you and the energy shifts in a negative way where like my body is not open, where your energy isn't open, I'm very much adamant about not wanting to pursue or go further. So that's my thing. So I have my speed round questions.
Been waiting for it.
Let's go. What's worse, someone forgetting your name or forgetting your story?
Forgetting my name.
I'm like, if you forget my story, then I don't know.
You gotta know
I
my
forget
name.
names all the time.
Right.
Like all the time. It's bad. It's actually really bad. Who's quicker to judge, family at Thanksgiving or strangers online?
Ooh,
I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
Family's at
family,
That's a damn shame.
right?
That is a damn shame. Okay. Do you think small talk is underrated or overrated?
Overrated. Gotta dive deep.
Over.
Okay, I'm with you.
That's the Aquarius party line.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 more because this is funny. Or maybe 4. Who's easier to connect with? Someone who's funny or someone who's deep?
Someone who's deep for me.
I like both. Can I get a
like both.
combination?
You can't do both.
Because I mean, when I first met you, you were deep. So I gotta give it
I'm
to you.
still deep.
When I first met you, we didn't really talk much.
We didn't.
Dang,
It was that reservation.
But then you started getting funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it worse when someone's too quiet or talks too much?
I can't do the talk too.
Talk too much. Talk too much. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
It's like,
Let's get to it. Tighten it.
Right.
Okay. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Okay. Which is worse, ashy elbows or chipped nails? I'm sorry. This is hilarious. I can't
Chipped
do.
nails.
I can't do
Ooh,
ashy
ashy
elbows. I can't
elbows.
do ashy.
See, you're ending it with a round of judging. Nice work.
I was just thinking that because I was like,
I can't help it.
if someone talks too much, like, but I'm like, okay, what are they going through? Do they need to talk?
Right.
See, there's
Context.
We definitely am ending it with
perfect.
judgment.
It's perfect.
And okay, this is a good one. Who's most likely to be secretly bougie between the 3 of us?
Secretly,
Secretly bougie. Vincent. No.
it's 2-1. It's 2-1.
I love that for us. All right, y'all. The main thing I want to leave you with is, who are you overlooking because you're assessing them by their appearance? Start thinking about how you can regroup and be like, okay, maybe they have something to offer. I don't need to look at someone and just assess them based off of how they look, how they show up. So until next time, y'all, do better and the real connect.